Drew Alba here with Colby Waterlow on another edition of Countdown with Colby. You were a little late on that one. Is it because of the off day?
Well, no, it's because you didn't say manager of the suites. I was waiting for that.
So it was my fault.
Yeah, it was a different intro than normal, so you messed me up.
Drew Alba here with manager of the Wall Wall Suites, Colby Waterlow, for another edition of Countdown with Colby. Does that help you out?
I was ready to say it there, and then you didn't let me say it, so
0 for 2.
that's all right.
You were 3 for 3 this last weekend, though. Gets 3 wins against the Pippins, grabs the Battle of the Basin belt. There was a lot of hype coming into that, and you got the belt. So before we move here to the Cowlitz Series, how does it feel?
Yeah, it felt great to get the win. Obviously, get the sweep at home and take care of business to win the belt for Wall to Wall there in the Battle of the Basin. And it meant a lot to our fans and our organization as a whole. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, for the implications it had just for overall record and what we're doing within the context of the season, but added a little bit more reward knowing that we got to take home the belt. So
I saw you repping the belt afterwards. Do you like how it looked on you, the shiny? Are you like wearing it over the shoulder there for a moment, stuff like that?
Yeah, I had it over the shoulder there for a minute. I was trying to see if I could get it to
actually
wear
be a belt,
like an actual belt, but there's a lot of buttons and things to snap on it. I didn't have the time, so we moved on.
So where is it right now?
It's in the clubhouse back at Borlesti. It's in the players. It's in the players' clubhouse. It's they played hard. They won it for the organization. So that's where we're keeping it for now.
Not only do you win the Battle of the Basin, you also get 3 wins, and which is just huge. Start the second half 3-0. You move here to Cowlitz. How do you keep the momentum going out of the off day?
Yeah, I think just going not complacent. It's easy coming off 3 wins and taking care of business there and having an off day for guys to kind of take a step back. But, trying to avoid any complacency, try to get ourselves off to a hot start here in game 1 and trying to just get right back to it, with the pace we're playing, with the execution that we're expecting out of the guys. And so don't take any innings off, don't take any plays off, right back to business.
1, 2 of 3 last time out against Cowlitz. How does it feel kind of now coming to their house here for their second time out?
Yeah, I think it's great to be here. Another spot, a new kind of area of the West Coast League and the Northwest that we haven't been to yet this summer.
Running out of those places.
I know, it's coming down to it. You kind of lump this one together with maybe Ridgefield down the road a little ways and whatnot. So, first time to this area. It's great to be here. It feels like it's been an eternity since we've seen Cowlitz in the other dugout, and so I think both teams have changed and grown a lot since then. So it kind of feels like a blank slate a little bit. We're going to see some familiar faces, some arms that we already saw and whatnot, but I think there's both teams have grown and gotten better and kind of settled in as the summers went along.
Cowlitz near the bottom of the South Division, but just went 3-0 against Springfield, coming off a sweep, a 3-game winning streak. How do you kind of stifle that and maybe, rolling with some confidence on the other side? How do you kind of break that up?
Yeah, I think we show up and take care of business in the way that we know we can. I think we set the tone with our energy. We set the tone with how we play aggressive and put Cowlitz on their heels, having to react to us. And I think if we can do that here in the first half, we have a good chance to capture some of that momentum that they have coming into this one and hopefully get ourselves off on the right foot here to start the series.
Got to talk about the All-Stars. Was announced earlier today. A few names. You got Tanner Kern, you got Gunnar Geilen, of course, Dom Cadiz. You want to talk a little bit about how much it means to get 3 suites in to Bellingham next week?
Yeah, it's awesome that we're going to be represented by 3 suites. 3 position players out there. Going to be in the field, which will be fun to see, and hopefully see some of those guys in the lineup even to start the game. And so, I think it means a lot for the organization. It means a lot to those guys who've worked so hard here in the first half of this summer. Tanner being a guy who's been here since the very beginning. Dom was pretty early on, and Gunnar a little bit more recent to the organization. But both those, all 3 of those guys have worked really hard. They've played really well. They're playing at a high level, and so great to see them get rewarded for the work they've put in, not only here in Walla Walla, but leading up to the summer as well.
Making the trip up?
I think that's the plan. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's the plan. We're going to see what we can do and see if we can find a way to make it all happen, at home and make sure the dog's taken care of and stuff. So we'll see if we can make it.
So you're not going alone? You're going with your wife potentially?
No, my wife is off working at a summer camp the next week, so she won't be there. But if I can get my parents to cover for the dog, we're gonna be trying to make the trip, I think.
So the West, obviously a long season. You got 55 plus games. 3 of your most pivotal guys going to play in the All-Star break. How does that kind of affect them? Yes, it's a super cool opportunity, but that break that everyone else is getting, they're not getting necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little bit of adrenaline and excitement that they're going to get to run on in Bellingham. It's another long car ride, which is tough, especially since we start this after the All-Star break on the road. But I think, for them it's a great opportunity. I think you weigh the rest with also the ability to perform in front of a lot of MLB scouts and some college coaches and playing a game that's going to be broadcast on MLB.com, and so it'll be a pretty cool experience for them. So while, I'm sure a day or two off would be good, they're going to get a little bit of rest, but I think it'll be an exciting opportunity for them to get to be a part of.
You want to talk a little bit about your starting pitcher today on the mound?
Yeah, Isaac Hallam, hoping to see him rebound from Bend. We're going to run the same rotation out there that we saw in Bend, and so for all three of those guys, it's a bit of an opportunity to rebound, an opportunity to kind of reset what they do and get right back in there. No changes to what we do. We have a lot of trust in those guys, and so expectant that they're gonna reset and give us a good one. Isaac to kind of kick it off here on Tuesday night.
You got a few guys part ways with the Sweets here halfway through. Zane Bidwell gone. He's been crucial down the stretch, especially the last few games out against the Pippins. And then a couple of relievers in Lucas Dixon, and obviously you got Stowe at the end there. What does it mean to kind of lose those guys, and how do you kind of fill those gaps?
Yeah, I think it's obviously hurts us to see those guys go, but also knowing that that's the nature of summer baseball and the nature of how things were set up. And so really thankful for the effort that those guys put in. It was incredible having them here, all great guys in the clubhouse, great players in their own right. And so, I think as we move forward, we see some guys step into some of those roles that were maybe occupied by the guys that have kind of taken off. A couple new faces going to be in the clubhouse, as we've added a local kid from Walla Walla. This is kind of our third catcher, Ethan Belcher, who just graduated from Wahai. He's here with us, and so he's kind of taking a spot there to give us a little bit of insurance behind the plate, and we'll see if we can bring in some other arms to try to bolster things down the stretch. But we have all the horses that we need out there in the bullpen already, and guys are ready to step up. And I think physically, I think mentally, preparation-wise, I think guys are ready to fill those holes. So I think we got the guys we need. I'm excited to see guys step up in those spots.
Sweet season in the thick of it right now. Walla Walla right there in the fold. How big are these games, but also in the context of every game is big at this point in the year?
Yeah, every game is huge. There can be huge swings in the standings just in one night, and so it's important for us to come out to play like I know we're capable of, to play like we know we're capable of, take care of business here in Cowlitz, and really try to set the tone for the week as a whole. Not looking forward, right? But we have the Knights coming in for the first time on the weekend, so it's a big week for us, as every week is. But it starts with tonight and setting the tone the right way.
Yeah, 6 games straight, then a little bit of a break for the Sweets. This brings us to our question of the day with manager of the Walla Walla Sweets, Colby Waterlow. Colby, if you were the MLB commissioner and you could expand the league 2 more teams, where are you putting them? You going international? You keeping it in the U.S.? Montreal, I know. Maybe go down to Mexico City. Who knows?
Yeah, I like the Mexico City idea. I think is pretty cool. And then I think I'd maybe add a team like Nashville. I think Nashville would be like a cool spot to have a team, kind of in the middle of. I think a lot of teams out there, on the east side. Of course, I'd like to have another West Coast team, another West Region team, but
bring in a Walla Walla, huh?
Walla Walla, yeah, there you go. Come on, bring them in. But we'll see. I know, a lot of MLB to PDX people around here, but
Seattle's not far.
As a Seattle fan, I don't root for MLB to PDX personally. So, yeah, we'll kind of leave it at that.
So Nashville and Mexico City, is that your final answer?
I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Right. MLB Commissioner Colby Waddle over here out in Nashville and Mexico City. A big week ahead for the Sweets. 6 games, 6 days, then a little bit of a break. But it starts here against the Cowlitz Black Bears. Thanks so much, Colby.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Go Sweets.